Racing on Tuesday takes place out at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. 9 races on the program, and race number 1 gets underway at 12:15. We are set to begin with the Work Riders maiden plate over the 1100 meter trip. With a 9-race program, it means that the Parpot will commence in race number 2, the PA race number 3, and then we've got the Pick 6 in race number 4. Joining me on the line is Graham Hawkins. And Graham, how are you doing?
All good, thank you, Rahil. Nice to be chatting to you again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while, but we're faced with another bread and butter midweek race meeting. Of course, the Cape Summer season is in full swing, but in between the big days, we have to have this kind of racing as well. So it's a race meeting, a race card, that if you play it right, you could be handsomely rewarded.
Well, let's get straight into it. Race number 1, as I mentioned, 1100 meters, Work Riders maiden plate. And here, your favorite, joint favorites, numbers 1 and 11, both from the Justin Snaith yard, who, and Justin had a good day on Saturday. Phil the Fluter, Rafa Bay at 3-1, 7-2 about Maneki Neko, 4-1 about number 8, Casa Estiva. It's then Spirit Guide at 9-2, it's 10-1, and Better Bar those. Now, this was Phil the Fluter. He ran a cracker last time out in a race where I think the form line could hold up.
Yeah, that was his first run as a gelding, so we can expect further improvement from number 1, Phil the Fluter. He jumps out of gate 1, which down the straight at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, certainly in the last couple of meetings, has been an advantage, whereas his stable companion and co-favourite number 11, Rafa Bay, jumps out of gate 11, which makes his task perhaps just a little tougher. But on the flip side of that coin, Louis Burke, who won 17 races as an apprentice jockey, as a graduate of the academy, certainly knows what it is to bring home winners. So Rafa Bay has the advantage of the services of Louis Burke. Phil the Fluter, his riders won a couple of races. This is a Work Riders maiden plate, so I think that Justin Snaith does hold all the aces here. I do prefer number 11, Rafa Bay. He seems to have reserved his best form for the minimum trip. If you go back to his last 2 runs over 1,000 meters, he's been runner-up in both of those races, and on the evidence of that form has a number of these well held. But of course, Phil the Fluter, he's very well bred. He's by Vercingetorix out of a mare by Al Mufti, and he certainly has scope to show a lot more improvement. Spirit Guide will be ridden by Bambiso, who's won 29 Work Riders races. He's certainly a veteran of the saddle in these types of races, and although 1100 meters might be on the sharp side for Spirit Guide, he'll get every assistance from the saddle. Maneki Neko is turning out to be a professional maiden. This will be his 14th start, but he has run second on 4 occasions, and his rider has won 6 races in the past. Casa Estiva, interesting debut for the Eric Sands stable. His rider, Mr. Piqua, is having his first ever ride, so I'm sure this is going to be a great experience for him. But when all is said and done, I'm going to be in the camp of number 11, Rafa Bay, to get the better of his stable companion.
11 from 1 in race number 1 on the program for Graham. Moving along to race number 2 next, and the second race. This is over the 1,000 meter trip. It's at 12:50. It is a start off the bar pot, so make sure you get those bar pot bets on. Don't get left behind. Your favorite here, joint favorites, number 6 and 8, Explicit Content Casino Ace at 33-10. 7-2, number 1, Lover's Lane. 9-2 about Electric Fields. 5-1, Mrs. Shackleton. It's in a 7-1 about Try Me, and then you can get double figure odds about the balance. Graham, start off the bar pot. What's your thoughts here?
Wide open race. This is the kind of race. It's a low-grade Cape D stakes over 1,000 meters for horses with a net merit rating of 64 and below. It's an average merit rating of 58. These horses have met each other on a number of occasions with different results. If you ran this race 5 times over, you're likely to get 5 different winners. I'm going to give number 8, Casino Ace, another chance. I was quite strongly in his camp last time in a small field where he tried to make all and was caught out in the final few strides by Electric Fields, who got up close home to beat Lover's Lane. They're all 3 meter gains. So Lover's Lane, Electric Fields, Casino Ace, they all reopposed here. And on the evidence of that form, there shouldn't be too much to choose between them. Mrs. Shackleton also always there and thereabouts. Still a maiden after 15 starts, but in this kind of race, must have a competitive chance. Explicit Comment was Content was just a little way behind Lover's Lane and Electric Fields and Casino Ace. That brings him into the race with a chance. Try Me can upset them. Raheel, I could go on and on and on. It's not easy to analyze the form. It's not easy to nail your colours to the mast. As I said, it's a low-grade race, and they beat each other at various times. But I'm going to be in the camp of number 8, Casino Ace, this time around, to perhaps go all the way and hold off the attentions of number 2, Electric Fields, numbers 1, Lover's Lane, and 6, Explicit Content.
Graham, I think I may have found a horse that could probably prove to be a nice horse to follow for trifectas and quartets. This horse, Seeking the Life, he's related to the horse Seeking the Stars. He obviously doesn't have the ability that Seeking the Stars has got, but last time out, first run after Gelding, and he was reported to be blowing, so maybe he just needed that run quite badly. He's now second up. I know he is a maiden taking on winners, but he's the type of horse that I think at 40-1 could run into trifectas and quartets.
There's no doubt about it. He's been lightly raced. He's obviously been plagued with problems. He's a 4-year-old. He's only had 5 lifetime starts. He's yet to hit the board, but there have been signs of life in some of his efforts. And as you say, in his first run back as a gelding, it did show some speed, which will certainly help him along here. There are many maidens in this race. He's not the only maiden. We've got Mrs. Shackleton as a maiden. We've got Over the Atlantic as a maiden. We've got Seeking the Life as a maiden. So there are a few maidens here, and they've proven to be competitive in these Cape D Stakes races. So it's not beyond the realms of possibility that with a bit of improvement, number 9, Seeking the Life, could hit the board for the first time in his career. But I do think he's going to have to show significant improvement.
Yeah, race number 2. Quite a tricky race with quite a few horses in with winning claims. Moving along to race number 3. This will be the start of the place accumulator. 1,800 meters the distance. 25 past 1 is the off time. Your favorite is number 7, Courtly at 2-1. Number 3, 006 is at 22-10. Number 6, Audible at 7-1. It's then 10-1 and better bar those. Now, Graham, I'm not sure if you kept a close eye on the source last time out, Courtly, but he's got one heck of an action, and I thought he would have won it at his last start, but the fact that he was beaten by Sansa Stark, who's no world beater and took an eternity to win a maiden, doesn't give me the confidence to think that this horse could win on Tuesday, but he must have every chance.
I think he'll have every chance. Like you, I was extremely disappointed that he was run out of it in the closing stages by Sansa Stark. He was an odds-on favourite on that occasion. To be fair to him, he's only lightly raced. As you say, he's got a wonderful action. He's got a lot of improving to do. He's got a lot of maturing to do. He's a well-grown gelding by active war with a lovely action. And he should give you a good run for your money. Again, Richard Fourie retains the ride. The Richard Fourie, Justin Snaith team have been in very good form. But as you say, there are concerns that if he can get beat by Sansa Stark, then he's got to be vulnerable here. The early money's coming for number 3, 006. Brett Crawford has got a strong hand with number 3, 006, and number 9, Amancio. Amancio also been a long time maiden, but you can hardly fault his recent form. He's been third in his last 2 starts. In the race on the 12th of October, Amancio was a length and 3/4 behind Courtly. So Courtly should be able to hold Amancio, but the stable elect appears to be number 3, 006. The money's coming for 006, so you've got to be wary of 006. I've gotten the place accumulator route as far as my suggested bet is concerned. I'm happy to bank a number 7, Courtly, to certainly run into the first 3, but there are a number of improvers here. Watch out for a better run from number 4, Asinantanga. He goes up in trip from 1,400 to 1,800 meters. There's been a late declaration. Blinkers go on. Craig Zaki is riding up a storm at the moment, and he's always done fairly well for Adam Marcus. The Hollywood Syndicate owned number 4, Asinantanga, certainly could be an improver here, as could be number 8, Henry's Hedge, who didn't run too badly behind Nali last time out. Audible is stable companion to Courtly. There shouldn't be too much to choose between them because Audible is also improving, but I suspect that Courtly is the stable elect. So in summing it all up, I'm going with Courtly. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt ahead of numbers 3, 006 and 9, Amancio, but the Brett Crawford pair will make their presence felt.
Yeah, let's see if Courtly can go one better than he has done at his last 2 outings. Moving along to race number 4 next. This is a maiden plate for fillies and mares over 1,600 meters. 2 o'clock is the off time. And here, number 12, Diamond Bomber is the favorite at 18-10. Number 7, Exquisite, is at 7-2. It's Lotus Island at 6-1. Lavender Bay 7-1. It's in 8-1 and better Bardos. There's been support for this 3-year-old filly, Hunger Tonga, 20-1 into 14-1 for Ricky Maingard. But Graham, start off the pick 6. What's your thoughts here?
Very trappy maiden plate for fillies and mares over 1,600 metres. I've got one wide in the place accumulator. I've included 4 runners here. I think the principles are probably number 9, Lavender Bay, holding form well without getting the job done. The immediate danger will be number 12, Diamond Bomber, who is the early market leader. Good run behind 2Gs. And if you go back a further run, when finishing 4th behind Beware the Bomb, well, we know what Beware the Bomb has done. And back at the George came out of that form line to win over the weekend. So there's lots to like about number 12, Diamond Bomber, except possibly for the draw. 11, White Waters, is threatening to win a race. And then there's number 7, Exquisite, who's certainly improving with each and every run. She's fairly lightly raced. She is the full sister to Enchanting Choice, who runs later on in this card. So you've got to respect the fact that Richard Faree has decided to go again on number 7, Exquisite. He rode her last time, went 3rd behind Jet to the Sun. 4, Lotus Island, I suspect ran below best last time out, if judged on the 2nd behind Little Susie. Admittedly, it was a well-beaten 2nd. So number 4, Lotus Island, certainly appears to have the possibilities of getting into the frame. Has been drawn very badly in her last 2 starts. 13 out of 13 penultimate start at Durbanville, 10 out of 14 in its last start at Durbanville. Now cracks a neat draw of 4. So expect improvement from number 4, Lotus Island. It's not an easy race. I wouldn't be surprised to see any of those that I've mentioned win it. As I said, my selections in order of preference would be 9, 12, 11 and 7, with number 4 as possibly getting into the frame. But I've included all 4 in the place accumulator.
Yeah, that is race number 4. Certainly a tricky race where Diamond Bomb has got that deep draw to overcome. But if she can get across, then she could be the horse to beat. Moving along to race number 5 next. The 5th race on the program is set to be run over 1,600 meters. It is a class 4 for fillies and mares, and it is the start of Jackpot 1. Your favorite is number 4, Kamchatka, at 3-1. Omikami at 9-2, along with Enchanting Choice, 5-1 Hampstead Heath, 5-1 Jet to the Sun. It's then 10-1 and Better Barlows. Now, Kamchatka winning straight out the maidens. I thought quite a nice performance from this filly, going start to finish, beating Enchanting Choice. Handicap has given her a 3-point penalty for that victory. So whether we're going to see Enchanting Choice turn the form or not, only the race will tell. But Graham, I like this horse Hampstead Heath quite a bit. Last time out, she moved up like she was going to go past them all, and she, I thought, not the greatest of luck going through the final 300 meters. And I think if she gets a clear run in transit from gate number 2, I think that she could go close.
We're on the same page, Rahil. Number 2, Hampstead Heath, is my top choice, but clearly, again, we're going to say it over and over again, a very competitive class 4 fillies and mares, 1,600 meters. As you mentioned, Kamchatka won last time. Enchanting Choice was 2nd, then Jet to the Sun was 3rd, Hampstead Heath was 4th, and all 4 reappear here. Hampstead Heath is 3 kilograms better off with Kamchatka, which could be enough to reverse the order. Last time out, Hampstead Heath was awkwardly drawn. This time she's better drawn, as you've mentioned, and she should get the run of the race. So I do fancy number 2, Hampstead Heath, to possibly come out on top. 10, Enchanting Choice, who was ahead of Hampstead Heath then, but as you mentioned also, that Hampstead Heath found traffic problems on that occasion. So Enchanting Choice, wide draw again. Craig Zaki, Dean Canema, Kaya Stables likely to drop out towards the rear of the field. We're on the winter course for the last time. We revert to the summer course on Saturday. So Enchanting Choice is going to have to make up some ground in the stretch. He was doing just that last time out, fading by only a neck to get to Kamchatka. She's also waited to reverse the order with Kamchatka. But Kamchatka, of course, has won her last 2 over 1,600 meters. She's lightly raced. She's unbeaten over the trip. She's a 3-year-old daughter of Erupt. There might be further improvement to come, so you can't just literally say, well, she can't win at the weights, because improvement is on the side of number 4, Kamchatka. And Jet to the Sun was in the mix last time. He's likely to be in the mix again. But the interesting runner is certainly number 7, Omikami. Won well on debut. at 16 to 1 when beating Pink Moon. That was a win full of merit, despite the fact that Pink Moon has not franked the form. And then a comeback run on the 5th of October was over 1,250 meters when showing a lot of toe and finishing under 3 lengths behind Great Cat. That was a commendable effort. She steps up now to 1,600 meters. By Global View out of a mare by Silvano has every chance of getting the trip. And, of course, it's noteworthy that Richard Fourie has taken the ride for the Lucinda Woodruff stable, so you ignore Richard Fourie at your peril. But I am in the camp of number 2, Hampstead Heath, but you can't be overly confident. 2, 10, 4, and 7 are my top 4 in order of preference. I expect the form to hold up. The mystery horse in the race is number 7, Amikami. And then certainly off a lightweight, number 1, Pentalina, is worth a mention.
Yeah, number 2, Hampstead Heath, 5 to 1 the price, and let's see how this filly shapes up in race number 5. Moving along to race number 6 next, and race number 6 is set to be around over 1,400 meters. This is a class 5, 3:15 is the off time. Favorite number 5, Water Fortune at 22 to 10, Unsolved Riddle 33 to 10, Norshan at 11 to 2, it's then 7 to 1, and Better Bar Those. Now this horse, Water Fortune, third behind King Viserys last time out, and Aldo de Mea takes ride for Candice Bass Robinson once again. Maiden taking on winners here, but Graham, could this horse get it right, or could there be dangers elsewhere, the likes of Unsolved Riddle and even this horse Solar Trip?
Yeah, I'm very, very strongly in the camp of number 5, Water Fortune. On Saturday on the show, I said that my play was all around Groove Jet, which came through to win for us, so that was nice. My play at this meeting is going to be principally around number 5, Water Fortune. I recognize that number 3, Unsolved Riddle, is a big threat. We'll come back to Unsolved Riddle in a moment. But I do like the way that Water Fortune is going along. The penny has taken a little while to drop, but his last 2 runs have been good. Last time out, he was third behind King Viserys. In between them was Circumbendibus, who came out to run a cracker again over the weekend. So I'm really going to go with number 5, Water Fortune, in quite a big way at this race meeting. I think he does represent some value even at his current odds, but he does have number 3, Unsolved Riddle, and Mr. Fourie to beat. Richard Fourie has partnered Lunga Gila's runner in his last 2 starts, running 3rd and 1st, and Richard Fourie sticks with the right. So you've got to respect that. So the immediate danger to number 5, Water Fortune, has to be number 3, Unsolved Riddle. I expect the winner certainly to come from this pair. I would be surprised if the winner came from outside of these 2, but then we've been surprised before in Class 5 handicaps, particularly over 1,400 meters, which is a tricky distance, but I'm going to rely on the form book to get us through here. Yes, he's still a maiden, but Class 5 handicaps are open to maiden competing well with the winners. That's what Class 5 racing is designed to do. So although Unsolved Riddle is a 2-time winner and has the services of Richard Fourie, he's got to give him 2.5 kilograms. I'm going to be in the camp of number 5, Water Fortune.
That's horse number 5, Water Fortune, currently trading at 22 to 10 in the market. Moving along to race number 7. This is the Class 5 for fillies and mares. 1,400 meters the distance, 1,550 is the off time. And having a look at the market for race 7, number 1, Senhora Victoria, gate number 1. Wow, this horse jumped from gate number 1. I don't think that Eric Sands would have thought that this horse would be jumping from gate 1 after all those poor draws, Graham. But if anything, Tuesday could well be a day.
As you say, draw strike of note. Richard Fourie gets aboard this 6-year-old mare by Master of My Fate for the first time ever. She's had 24 starts previously. Richard Fourie's never been aboard her. So I think Eric Sands, pole position. Richard Fourie is really keen for Senhora Victoria to get a 3rd career victory. It's been 616 days since that last win. The last time she ran in a Class 5 handicap was at this course over 1,400 meters. When finishing off well to be beaten only half a length by Miss New York. Now, she has the clear opportunity to win here. She is the one that they're all have to beat. But never did I ever wake up in the morning and think I'd be seeing Senora Victoria on offer at around 16 to 10. As much as there's so many boxes that she ticks, I would be loath to jump in at that price. But certainly from an exotic bets perspective, if you're happy to row in with Senora Victoria and from this pole position, then you could do worse than by leaning on her as a potential banker. What are the dangers? Well, they're not that many because it's a very limited field. But the one that does jump out the page is the young improving horse, number 8, Alessia Asherville, particularly in light of what happened over the weekend. Now, I know she's a maiden, again, running in a Class 5. That's not unusual in the Western Cape these days. But she was beaten 3 parts of a length by December Dawn, who came out to floor the opposition over the weekend. And when you consider the form prior to that was behind Oktoberfest and Be Merry, both of which are above average fillies, then you've got to believe that number 8, Alessia Asherville, has got a chance in this sort of class. Number 9, Trey Schick, is always there and thereabouts. She got the job done finally last time when beating Family Power, and that was over 1,400 metres at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. She always represents a bit of a threat, but she's drawn in gate 9, and Senora Victoria is drawn in gate 1. Double Dash is another maiden in the race, but certainly got enough form to suggest he could be a player, but at the weights has got a bit to do. We have a situation could get into the minor money, along with stable companion, number 2, Wedding Bells. Those two both from the Paddy Cryer stable. So yes, everything points to number 1, Senora Victoria, ending her 616-day drought. She should get the job done. The dangers for me are numbers 8, Alessia Asherville, and 9, Trey Schick.
Graham, it's quite interesting, number 8, Alessia Asherville, because she's a horse that I've kept a close eye on from the start. From the time she started her career, given that she's a half sister to Main Defender, and she seems to finally be starting to show some sort of ability.
There's no doubt about that. She didn't come to hand quite as quickly as Main Defender did, but she's certainly going about things the right way now. So she could have a touch of a class yet, and she might be equal to the task. She's easy to back at around 8 to 1 in the anti-post market, and maybe swingers with Senora Victoria, who does look the one they all have to beat.
Yeah, that is race number 7. Moving along to race number 8 next up. And the 8th race on the program, 25 past 4, 1,400 meters the distance. This is a Class 4. Number 3, Industrial Strength, and number 6, Air Raid. Joint favourites at 4 to 1, 11 to 2, Dawn Till Dusk, 7 to 1, Kelp Forest, 10 to 1, and Better Bar Those. Now, these two horses, I think they're fairly useful sorts, Industrial Strength and Air Raid, but Graham, this horse, Industrial Strength, I remember him from his time in KZN during the season, and he's a horse that I've kept a very close eye on. I'm not sure the winter course will suit him, but given that he's drawn gate number 3, I'm hoping that he's not dropped out to last, and I'm hoping that they actually make use of gate number 3. 1,400 meters, I was disappointed with his last start, but in hindsight, given the form has worked out with Song to the Moon winning again, I think that this horse has got plenty of upside.
He does have upside. It does worry me a little bit that he's stepping back from 1,600 to 1,400 meters. It might prove to be the right move that Dean Kennemer has made. If you go back to his penultimate run on the 28th of September, when third behind the shock winner Devil a Saint, well, big unit has come out of that form line to win over the weekend. So that form has now been franked again. There have been quite a few direct winners out of that form line. So nothing wrong with number 3, Industrial Strength's form coming into this race, and he certainly stands as good a chance as any. Air Raid is out of the multiple Group 1 winning mare Inara, steps up beyond 1,250 meters for the first time, so the extra will suit. And I noticed there's been a nibble in the market for number 6, Air Raid, already. His last start when 6th under 3 lengths behind 2020 Vision was his first as a gelding, so he'll be certainly strip a lot fitter this time around, and Air Raid has got to be a big player in what is a very, very open race. You can't ignore the chances of number 8, Kelp Forest. He's really at home over this track and trip, and he'll give a good account of himself. He needs a bit of luck in running because Grant van Niekerk needs to hold him up as long as possible and come with a late flourish over the final 150 meters. But all that having been said, I'm going to take a punt on number 9, Dawn Till Dusk. I think he's coming along the right way. He also comes out of the 2020 Vision form line, the same as Air Raid. Strictly on form, he's got Air Raid held, but there's plenty of improvement and upside to come from both Industrial Strength and Air Raid. But I'm going to take a speculative punt on Dawn Till Dusk. That's priced up at 5-1 in the early exchanges. I think that second to Radicchio was good. The rest of the field trailed in a long way behind. But I'm not forgetting about a horse called Duskute. Now, his last run was all wrong. He was forced out wide from a poor draw on the winter course. He was drawn 12 out of 14, judged on his previous form, which includes close up behind Holding Thumbs, who's been doing well, close up behind Big Unit, who won again over the weekend, close up behind Radicchio, the same kind of similar form to Dawn Till Dusk, and then close up behind Boundless Energy, who we think has got a lot of potential to come. So suddenly, not unlike Signora Victoria, Duskute finds himself back in pole position. I think he's going to be extremely competitive. I think he's overpriced in the early exchanges in the market. I think he's around 14-1, how quickly people forget. So I do think Duskute is going to be a player, but this is a tough race. It's a full field, Rahil, 16 runners. You can't ignore Terminator either. It's a full field of 16 runners. A bit of luck in running could determine the outcome here, but I'm going with number 9, Dawn Till Dusk, to come home ahead of number 1, Duskute, but healthy respect for all of Industrial Strength, Air Raid, and Kelp Forest.
Yeah, it's the type of race where you could get a big jolt in those exotics, but hopefully the market could be right here with the horses that they've got at the top, the numbers 3 and 6, and then as you heard from Graham, number 9, Dawn Till Dusk is his top pick. Moving along to race number 9, this is the final race on the day. 5 o'clock is the off time for race number 9, 1,000 meters, class 4 contest, and here the favorite is number 11, All About L, 7-2, number 7, Rattlesnake at 4-1, Counter Attack at 9-2, Shifting Path, who's been an absolute revelation for Pete Porter, he's at 5-1, it's then 6-1, and Better Bar those. Now, a horse that I'll be keeping a very close eye on, and perhaps having an each way bet, will be on number 8, Barney McGrew. He's a horse that runs well at the track, and I think he's coming back to some of his better form. He's now on the right mark to be competitive, and I think at 12-1 in the market, I think that's a good price for a horse at each way odds in the last race.
He certainly loves racing here. He's got a fine record over track and trip, and he showed signs of life last time out behind Bluff and Bluff. He hasn't won for 840 days, and just whether he can hold his form and maintain a level of consistency, that's the big question around the 7-year-old son of Captain of All, Barney McGrew. Strictly on form, he's held by number 11, All About L, but we know he can't translate that form literally on every occasion. All About L beat Barney McGrew and Shifting Path last time out when they ran 2nd, 4th and 6th behind Bluff and Bluff, but that was at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. They backed down the straight at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, and as much as Barney McGrew loves the course and distance, so does number 11, All About L. 4 of his 5 career victories have come at Kenilworth. So Barney McGrew comes into the race as a 5-time winner, as does All About L. Shifting Path is a 6-time winner. So those are the veterans in the race, and they should all give a good account of himself. The younger blood is represented by In the Green Zone, who ran well enough behind Artista before flopping behind Gimme That Pearl and Go Like Flow. I think we'll be better at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, so expect better from number 6 In the Green Zone, as well as number 7 Rattlesnake. There have always been a few whispers around that number 7 Rattlesnake is of above average ability, the 3-year-old son of Buffalo Bill Cody, but both In the Green Zone and Rattlesnake are one-time winners. The 4-year-old Counter Attack is also a one-time winner, lightly rated. He clearly has a few problems, so I do think the veterans can fight this one out. Shifting Path, Barney McGrew, All About L. I'm certainly respecting the chances of number 8, Barney McGrew, but my top choice would be number 11, All About L.
Yeah, horse number 11 currently at around 7-2 in the market in race number 9. So we're going to move along to the suggested bet now, and Graham will take us through his suggested bet for the race meeting on Tuesday out at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. And Graham, take it away with the place accumulator.
Place accumulator starts race 3 at 13.25. We go in with the banker number 7, Courtly, in the first leg. As you say, he's vulnerable. He might find 1 or 2 to beat him, but I'm certainly hoping that he makes the top 3. Second leg going wide, number 7, 9, 11 and 12. The third leg, we both fancy number 2, Hampstead Heath. but not that confidently enough to banker. I'm going wide again. Numbers 2, Hampstead Heath, 4, Kamchatka, 7, Omikami, who could be anything over 1,600 meters, and number 10, Enchanting Choice. Then I'm going with number 5, What a Fortune, as a banker. Despite the fact that it's got Unsolved Riddle to beat, I do think What a Fortune may turn out to be one of the better bets on the card. I'm not bankering number 1, Senora Victoria. Our listeners might want to do that, and I wouldn't put them off that, but I'm going 1, Senor Victoria, 8, Alessia Ashable, and 9, Trey Schick. The penultimate leg, I'm taking a bit of a speculative punch here, just including numbers 1, Das Gut, and 9, Dawn Till Dusk. And then the last leg, which we've just discussed, I'm putting in 2 of the veteran campaigners, 2, Shifting Path, and 11, All About L. But I'm going to throw in the younger number 6 in the green zone. And certainly if you want to add Barney McGrew, number 8, then I wouldn't put you off that either. So there we go. That's the place accumulator for what is a truly competitive day's racing. And if you get it all right, if luck is on your side, you could be handsomely rewarded.
Yeah, there could be lots of value to be had on the day on Tuesday out at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, and hopefully you manage to back a few winners. Graham, thanks very much. Looking forward to the meeting on Tuesday, and yeah, hopefully the guys can make themselves a bit of money.
Thank you, Rahil. As always, go well.
All the best with racing on Tuesday.